Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How's everything been going? Welcome back to Mommy Mondays. This is a in-depth Mommy Monday video. And I'm going to try my hardest not to get emotional about this video because that's what mommies do. We're emotional, we're passionate about our families, our children, and all that good stuff. So the topic on today is, am I a bad parent? As you guys can see from the description bar and all that good stuff, am I a bad parent? You can't sit here and try to tell me if you look like this, don't look like this, have 5 kids, have 1 kid. You don't have those moments to where you feel like a bad parent. I have those moments often because I have boys. I have rambunctious boys. I was raised by a single mother who had a very strong, stiff arm, and a godmother, which is pretty much my other parent, but pretty much another single mother as well, with a strong and stiff arm. And I rule with a little bit of a strong arm, I guess you could say, on a lighter note, and my husband not so much. But there's all males, you know what I mean? And I'm the only woman, so I have to put my foot down. We do have super littles right now, but it's 2018, so littles come out ready. They come out ready, knowledgeable, packing on it, okay? Who's to say who's a good parent and who's a bad parent? I have those moments when I'm yelling at the top of my lungs about something, what's going on, whatever the case may be. Not all the time, but often. And I feel terrible about it during and afterwards, but sometimes that's the only time I can get my point across, you know? Also, there's moments where I have to pull out the leather. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Call it what you want to call it. But I call it, my children are aware that it's called either getting a whooping or me having to get their attention. Okay? And like I said, I have littles, but they're very familiar with that leather. Okay? And of course, when you have to pull out the leather to do what you have to do, I feel terrible. Like nobody wants to take those steps with their children, but at the same time, we want the best for our children. I'm one of those, you know what I'm saying, got the rod when I was young, and look how I turned out. I do believe it's beneficial. Do you believe in spanking kids beneficial or not? Let me know. Let's get those communication lines open. I also believe that there's some children that you just don't have to go there with. My oldest, I don't have to go there with him very much, especially when he was younger. My second child, he's about to have one specifically made just for him, okay? But then our third, which is the baby boy, he's still so super young. There's no telling, you know what I'm saying, if we would have to take those notions with him, because we don't by any means. But his temperament and his personality kind of show, and he listens so well right now. Not listen as in do what I say, but listen as in direction. Let's take different direction. Let's take a different approach to things. Differently than the other two did when they were that age. So I don't believe that we'll have to take those steps and those measurements with him, but you never know, and we'll have to see. With me, my mother always says we weren't bad children, but I know I'm a pretty strong-willed busybody. And I can recall, like I said, getting that rod a good few times when I was younger. You know what I mean? My husband, on the other hand, he was the type of child, and it's so fun and wonderful to hear his mother explain as well as himself explain how he could see somebody else get in trouble for something or even yell at him, and it was like, that's a wrap. I got it. We're clear. We're A-okay with what you're talking about, what you got going on, what is and what isn't. So it's very, you know, it's very different, but we're going through different stages. Our youngest is turning 1. Our second youngest is turning 3. Our third, which is our oldest, but our third youngest is turning 6. And then the twins are actually coming into adulthood. So we've got some serious transitions going on here at the house. Weeks in a month. And then the twins come April, you know, will be into adulthood. So, and with the twins, because they're not like our born children, and we haven't had them for more than 3 years, and we've had them in their older years, I guess the discipline and the quote unquote parenting is very different. It's very different, and it's hard. I'm not even going to lie. I try to approach everything with my children intellectually, communication wise. I try to converse with them as much as possible to their, to their level of understanding and communicating back and things like that. But it's hard because you have to be so repetitive when you want to teach your children things. I'm a slight bit of a believer in our children are not our own. They don't belong to us. They were just a blessing to us to raise up to be what they're supposed to be, which is not, they will always be our children. We'll always love them. But at the same time, we can't raise them as, oh, this is my little person, so you need to do what I say, how I say, and why I say. I don't believe in that, because they're not us. They're not soldiers. You know what I mean? They're not robots per se. You can't program them. I believe you should not program them to be robotic and obey necessarily, and more so understand. When they're young, yes, you should obey because you don't know yet and you don't understand yet. It's a very fine line. That's why I want to get the communication lines open. And especially with a lot of the older parents, the older generation, the more mature and seasoned parents and generation that have younger kids or older kids, and especially like my mom and mother-in-law and, grandmother and things like that. We go back and forth. And sometimes me and my mother tit for tat when it comes to how I raise my children and how I deal with them, compared to how she dealt with us and raised us, and how she feels that, I should be raising mine. So I would just want to get the communication lines open, especially for Mommy Mondays, for all you mothers out there, fathers as well. Get in where you fit in, get in here too. When it comes to, am I a bad parent? Am I just in my feelings because I spank, or when I have to spank and yell and stuff like that? Or is that just the wrong thing to be doing? To each their own. And I hope you guys are doing your best as parents to do what's best for your little people. And I just wanted to throw that out there. Until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.